Hey guys, so in my last grocery haul, I had hinted that I had a amazing, delicious, wonderful chocolate chip cookie recipe that I wanted to share with you guys. These seriously are the best chocolate chip cookies you will ever have in your life. I can't wait to share this recipe with you. Now, this recipe makes a ton of cookies, so for that reason, I cut everything in half, which is why you'll hear in the ingredients not nice round numbers as they normally would be, but I will put the full recipe in the description box below. So typically when I make this recipe, I refrigerate my dough for 24 hours. I really think that it makes a difference in how the cookies form and especially how they taste, but you do not have to do that. So if you are in a rush and you don't want to refrigerate the dough, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And now I will show you all of the ingredients that you'll need. So to start out with our dry ingredients, you're going to need 1 cup minus 1 tablespoon of cake flour, a little bit less than 1 cup of bread flour, 2/3 cup of light brown sugar, a half a cup plus 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of granulated white sugar. And then in here I have 2/3 teaspoon baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon baking powder, and 3/4 teaspoon coarse sea salt. As for wet ingredients, you're gonna need about 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 egg, 1 stick plus 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and then of course our star of the show, the Ghiradelli milk chocolate chip. I definitely recommend going with the Ghiradelli. There is a difference in quality between the Ghiradelli and the Nestle, which is what I would normally have used in the past. These are just a much richer, more chocolatey, if that's even possible, chocolate chip. All right, we're gonna start out by just sifting the flours and the baking powder, baking soda, and salt together in a bowl. I'm just using a small strainer to do this. Now we're left with the coarse salt. I'm just gonna throw that in because we do want it to be coarse. It's not gonna break up between the strainer. And we're just gonna set this aside. All right, next we are going to cream our butter and sugar together. Go ahead and add my egg and keep going. All right, I turned it down to low because I'm going to start adding my dry ingredients a little bit at a time. Switching to a wooden spoon once I incorporate the chips just because it's a little bit easier to stir. In goes the chips. This is the part where you resist all urges to just eat this whole entire bowl of raw cookie dough. Okay, so I just got some plastic wrap and this is what I'm gonna use to refrigerate it overnight. And we're just gonna kind of form it into a ball. Okay, so it's been a little bit more than 24 hours. I just took my dough out of the fridge. I would definitely recommend taking your dough out about a half hour to 40 minutes before you actually wanna bake them because it is gonna be pretty hard. It's gonna be a very solid, and it will just be a little bit easier if it softens a little bit to just scoop them out and put them on the cookie sheet. I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees. I'm just using a little ice cream scoop that I got from Pampered Chef so that I can make even-sized cookies. I'm gonna bake some of them, but I'm gonna freeze most of them, and I'll show you and explain how I'm gonna do that. All right, so let's pop these into the oven. I wanna bake these between 12 and 15 minutes. I find for my oven, 14 minutes is perfect. Now for the rest of my dough, I'm gonna go ahead and freeze it. And this is a trick I actually learned from my grandmother. You kind of just put these onto a clean baking sheet and freeze them directly on the sheet. And then once they're frozen, you can pop them into a Ziploc bag and keep them in your freezer. So you want to let them cool for a minute or two and just set, and then transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. Okay, so let's see. That's what it looks like. Perfect on the bottom. Oh. They're like chewy and gooey. They're a little bit crispy on the outside, like just around the rim, but they're super, super gooey on the inside, which is how I love them. just like melt in your mouth. And you do pick up a little bit of the salt. They don't taste salty, but there's a little bit of a hint of salt, so you kind of get that salty sweet. So that is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you will give this recipe a try, and if you do, make sure to come back and let me know how they turn out. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.